So if you say Jesus was born perfect or sinless, like I said before, why does Hebrews 5:8 says, or Hebrews 5:9, that Jesus had to be made perfect? He had to be perfected through his suffering. So if you were made perfect already, then why did you have to be made perfect through your suffering, declared perfect at the end of your life? Through your suffering, if you was already perfect. But even if you say Jesus was perfect or sinless, we know the Bible says that Job was perfect. In Job chapter 1, verse 1, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and straight, and one who revered Elohim and turned aside from evil. So even if you say Jesus was perfect, Job was perfect too. He turned aside from evil. He was perfect in his generations. So how does that make Jesus any different from Job? If we go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 9, we see Noah was perfect in his generations. So we got Job was perfect. We got Noah was perfect. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with Elohim. So Noah was so perfect that God killed everybody else on the planet. Think about that. Noah was so perfect that God killed everybody on the planet, and he only saved Noah and his family. But why did he only save Noah and his family? The Bible doesn't say Noah's family was perfect. I'm gonna just throw this sidebar in there. It don't say Noah's family was perfect, right? But it does say that Noah was perfect. But it's just interesting why God would choose to save Noah's family if they wasn't perfect. And then we have what else do we have? We have in Luke 1:6. In Luke 1:6, it says Elizabeth and Zechariah. It says that they were both righteous before Elohim, blamelessly walking in all the commandments and righteousness of Yah. So it says Elizabeth and Zechariah, they kept all the commandments. They were righteous before Elohim, walking in all the commandments. And even when it says in 1 Peter, that in 1 Peter chapter 2, when it says Jesus, there was no deceit found in his mouth. Jesus said the same thing about his own disciple, Nathanael, right? In John 1:47, Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him, and he said, what did he say about Nathanael? Truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. The same thing Peter said about Jesus in 1 Peter 2. There was no deceit in Jesus' mouth. He was without sin. There was no deceit, no guile. He said the same thing about Nathanael, his disciple, in John 1:47. He said, he saw Nathanael coming toward him, and he said, see a true Israelite in whom there is no guile, no deceit. So even if you say Jesus was perfect, he's not in a class all by himself. That still does not make him unique. Because even if you say he was perfect, he said that you must also be perfect, just as the Father was perfect, right? You must walk just as he walked. 1 John 1:6. He left you an example that you must follow in his steps. So you must be walking in his steps. If you say that Jesus was perfect, it requires you also yourself to be perfect, to live as he lived, just as his father was perfect. Just as Noah, Elizabeth, and Job was also perfect in their generations. Peace.